Grandma, Grandpa, how did you meet? Well, your grandmother and I were on a TV show with a bunch of men with zero body fat and a whole bunch of issues, and she picked me. That's my Bachelorette recap, but maybe we should go to Courtney Laughlin for a better one.
You're assuming that there's a happily ever after out of this dumpster fire.
That's true.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, based on last night's episode and kind of how this season has been progressing on this season of The Bachelorette, if there is really going to be a happy ending. Obviously, everything happened with Claire. She left. Last night's episode was interesting. And I keep saying this because every time the producers on the show, I think, are just trying to find different ways for these contestants to have dates. Because normally, like I said, they travel, right? They go on these extravagant places. They experience culture. They drink beer in Germany. But now they're just doing these dates on the premise of this resort. So it has been interesting to see what they've come up with for what these contestants can do. I will say one thing, though. I think that this is the most emotional and deep season ever in the Bachelor franchise, because they are not doing these amazing vacations and traveling. So a lot of the things that these contestants are doing, they're like really opening up and bearing their feelings, which is great to watch. But also, I want to see them like go on these like sexy vacations and like sit in a hot tub in the woods. And now it's like they're getting hooked up to lie detector tests, and which is what happened last night.
There was a lot going on in this episode.
Yes.
Tuesday, it's a 2-on-1 for the ages.
You think I'm a 14-year-old? I stand by that statement.
That ends in a blindside.
Not the goodbye I expected. It didn't feel right.
Then, get ready for big truths.
The time frame of proposing is scary.
Big lies.
Have you ever cheated on someone?
Yes. Is today the day I let myself go?
And one big twist.
What in the actual hell?
What in the actual hell? That's a deep
It's a lot.
state there.
So now there's 7 contestants. I believe it needs to go down to 4. Next week, they're airing 2 episodes, Monday and Tuesday, in which starts the hometown dates. They still haven't said which Kelly comes before the fantasy suite.
Okay, that was going to be my question. The fantasy suite, that's my favorite episode.
So I'm pretty sure that happens after hometowns. No idea what's going to happen with hometowns. I think the parents come to the resort, but I'm unsure.
I thought we were not supposed to see our parents.
And I thought it was going to be on Zoom.
Yeah. I thought we were all like locking down here, but the Bachelorette can do it.
Apparently, you have to see they come and they get screened and tested, and it's like an NBA bubble or something like that. I'm not really sure.
I see. And it was probably filmed before, like we were told not to go see our parents.
That's true.
Right. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to end up. I do want to say there was one thing that happened that was like a big shocker. They said in that promo, a plot twist.
Dun, dun,
I remember
dun.
the most dramatic episode ever.
I'm not a
Last
14-year-old.
week-
You're a 14-year-old. No,
Yeah, get over it, guys. She ended up sending one of those guys home. His name is Bennet. He's a Harvard grad. He's an investment banker.
Of course he is.
Yes, and some like to say that he thinks he's better than everybody else. So Tayshia ends up sending him home, ends up keeping the 25-year-old with the mustache, who shaved his mustache. Then at the end of the episode, Bennet shows back up and basically says, Tayshia, I love you. And it's like,
boy.
Don't they have security at this place? How does someone walk back in?
She just kicked him off the show and then he comes back. I don't get it.
Is that when she said, what in the actual hell?
Yes, is when he shows back up on the show, which I never understood how they let that happen. To your point, Tommy, like, where's the security? Obviously, the producers love it, right? Because they're like, this makes for drama. They're like all in for it.
I also gotta believe that like investment banker, Harvard grad who looks like Ken doll with a perfectly manicured beard isn't told no often. So I'm not sure he was able to like handle that.
And if he loved her, why didn't he tell her before he got kicked off the show?
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to tell someone that you love them when you're, away from them or apart from them.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Something like that.
If these guys don't really have this job, like if this guy is really an investment banker and he's in some meeting at some point being like, yeah, absolutely, sir, give me your $100 million estate and let me go ahead and invest that for you in some properties and some diversified blah, blah, blah. I'm not a finance person, but that's how I imagine it goes. is that person ever gonna is that gonna come back to bite them? To be like, hey, wait a minute, aren't you that weirdo who showed back up on The Bachelor and told Tayshia that you still loved her after she threw you off the show? I'm gonna take my estate elsewhere, sir.
They might.
I think you're thinking more of a financial planner than an investment banker, but I like where you're going there, Tommy.
Well, but he was investing at a bank. I don't know. Whatever. I assume that someone of his job is in a meeting at some point. This is going to come back to bite him in the keister.
Wait. So to go back to, is he now back on the show, or
Yeah.
So we'll see him next week.
Apparently he stayed.
So she was like, "Oh, okay, you love me. What? Let's give this a try."
She was like, I just have to think about all this. She's like, this is just too much. And then obviously the episode goes dark.
He wants to be in the fantasy suite.
So wait, he gets to then just walk back willy-nilly?
Yes, he just knocked on her door, entered the room, and was like, hey, I'm here. I love you.
And he was kicked out.
She let him go. She had a choice to give a rose to two men. She gave it to the 25-year-old mustache kid, let Bennet go, and then he shows back up later that night.
This is what happened. He left. The producers were out there. They had a little sort of wrap-up meeting. He's like, listen, guys, what if I come back onto the show? Would that be good? And the producers were like, yes, please.
It's already been decided, Bennet. You got to go. No, you can't overturn the will of the Bachelorette, Bennet. Get out.
But she did say, because she did a lie detector test too. And one of the questions was, do you regret letting somebody go on the show? And she said, I think so. And the light lit up green, which is yes.
Did anyone ask her if she's a hussy?
No, there were some interesting questions though that they asked the guys that were slightly inappropriate. This is what I'm saying. This season has gone above and beyond what they normally do in terms of hot tubs in the woods and these extravagant vacations. It's kind of deep.
Also, time out for 1 second. I'll have to talk to my dad about this. My dad is a retired lieutenant with the state police in Pennsylvania, and he has cracked cold cases and been an investigator. I don't believe that an actual polygraph lie detector has a big red awooga light on it for when you get something wrong. So I'm questioning the validity of said lie detector.
Tommy,
test.
I can confirm that because I watch a lot of Law and Order, and I have never seen one on the polygraphs.
So Law and Order might even be a dramatization, but I don't think it's a big Operation Clown Nose that goes off when you lie.
That's exactly what this was. There was a green one. There was an orange one, which is maybe she's lying, maybe he's lying, maybe he's not.
That's not how polygraphs work. I know that.
And then there was a red one that looked like the Operation Nose that was flashing.
Oh gosh, you gotta love it.
What kind of a crackerjack investigation situation is this Bachelorette trying to do?
I don't know. It will be interesting though to see, because she did tell one of the guys that she was falling in love with him, and then she's also said that she's in love with multiple guys.
Yeah, well, and
I also believe polygraphs are yes or no questions only. I could be wrong on that one too, but I'm pretty sure you got to be yes or no.
You got to get the baseline too, right? You got to get the baseline, say your name and your age and some things that you know to be true.
Exactly. Did you, were you, have you? Those are the questions, I think, is what you can ask.
You know what? Who cares? It's Hollywood. It's entertaining. We're talking about it today. Great.
I will get a report from my dad on how polygraphs work for the next time we do Bachelorette post game.
Okay.
Tommy just wanted an assignment.
Totally. I have no purpose in this segment except for this. So great. Thanks for putting me in, Coach.
One other thing, we talked to this gentleman a couple weeks ago on our show, Jason Foster. He's was a local Bachelorette contestant when Claire Crawley was on the season before she left. Next week, I believe, is also the Men Tell All episode, which is where they bring all the men back and they bring out the Bachelorette, and they all if they had beef with each other, they kind of talk it out. There's drama. And so I did see a teaser that Jason is on that Men Tell All episode.
Ooh, oh, cool. We'll have to bring back his interview.
Yeah. I just don't know which Bachelorette is going to be on. Is it Claire or is it Tayshia?
Well, I think they record it right before everyone left the bubble. They would have to. So
then it would be Tayshia
or Claire. No, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's all decided. The show is wrapped and done. They're all just under NDA and can't talk about it.
Yes.
So maybe he was in the bubble throughout this whole thing, and then he now is doing I don't know.
No, but my question is usually they bring back the Bachelorette and guys are like, oh, I fell in love with you and I thought we had something, yada, yada, yada. Which Bachelorette would have been there? Right?
Oh.
Like, are they going to have Claire and Tayshia? Or just Tayshia? I don't know.
These are, I mean, wow. I mean, these are the things that we need to worry about.
Right? I mean, I feel like if Claire steps down, she no longer gets to be the Bachelorette. It's sort of like giving up your throne, right? Like she no longer gets to be part of the pomp and circumstance of the finale, I would think.
True. I don't know. I'll report
It's like-
back next week, guys.
It's like that Two Popes movie. There's only one. So when one leaves, you don't get to come back and either talk to the other one. So that's how that
Not
goes.
like the Pope.
It could very well be like the
No.
Pope.
No, don't say that.
Hey, if you want to get involved in this, our group text, I can't imagine why you wouldn't. 703-782-4519.